practice with multiple representations where I gave you one, either a table, a graph, an equation, words. In this case, I'm going to give you some points, and I want you to fill in the rest. Okay, so we talked about slope and y-intercept. I do want you to notice on this first one, right, our y-intercept is always 0, right? There's not a 0 here. So you're going to have to find the pattern and go backwards to find your y-intercept for your equation. Remember your y, it's going to be y equals mx plus or minus b, right? Whenever you do your graph, you need to make sure you label. So look here, our x, our independent, is row number. And our y is going to be number of flowers. Okay? You can do what you want on your scale. I would suggest, since we're not starting until maybe at least probably 50, have y'all talked about a graph break in science like this? Okay, so a graph break, let me zoom in there. It kind of looks like a heart monitor, right? Where this would normally be 0, 0. But if you do this little jagged line, this is called a graph break, then you could start at, you're saying I'm jumping to this number. Okay, so I would do that on my graph. And then on our points, once you have your equation, remember your points, these are x, y points, right? So you would put in 10 for your x or your row number, in this case r, and then you would get your number of flowers in. Do you feel like you could do this? Feel like you could fill this in? All right, let's look at the next one. So now on this next one, I'm giving you an equation. So remember, this is our M, and this is our B. They didn't give us a verbal description. You can be creative here. Notice that on our table, we're skipping. This is our B value, right? So what could we do with R and M? Could we maybe pretend we can say, what? Rulers and meters? How about this? George has blank marbles and wins blank more actually no, this would be an R. You do R and M. That's a hard one. Has blank something. You can fill in a word here. Has blank something that is an R. I don't know. And wins blank more on each blank. I don't know. Come up with something. Don't forget to do some labels here, and you can do your numbers. All right. Do you want to do that? Here we have a graph on the next one. What do you know about this graph? It's multiplicative. Why? It is proportional and multiplicative. Okay, it goes through the origin. So this equation is just y equals mx, right? You're not going to have a b on here. What do you know is going to happen right here on your table if it's multiplicative? This is going to be a 0. All right, and then you can make up, because we just have x and y, you can make up your own whatever's happening there. All right, you feeling okay about this so far? Okay. Here I give you a table. What's wrong with my table? What's missing? The what? Where do we always want to look on our table at what number? The 0. We got to figure out if this is going to be a 0, 0. Okay? Then you can write your rule It might be mx, it might be mx plus or minus b. Notice this has some negatives, so we're going to be using multiple quadrants. Come up with your own sentence. And the last one I'm actually going to do with you. How nice is that? She owes her mother $30. Oh, if you owe someone money, what does that mean? That's a negative. She plans to pay her back $5 a week till she has repaid it. So we are comparing here what? Weeks and money, right? So at 0 weeks, how much money does she have? Be careful. Good, negative $30. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could even add some 5, 6, 7 if you wanted. Or if you don't want to keep it going like that, maybe you skip a few. 1, 2, skip a few. 5 and 8. I don't know. What would be our equation here? Something x minus 30. This is my b. This is my constant, right? My y-intercept. What is this? This is my m. This is my slope, my rate of change. So this is going to be 5x minus 30, right? Y equals mx plus or minus b. So you can now plug your numbers in to your equation if you want. Or you could just do your counting. If we said 5 times 1 minus 30, what do we get? 25. So now she only owes her mom $25. What about after 2 weeks? 20. Okay, be careful. How about after 5 weeks? 5 times 5 is 25 minus 30. Good job, Ethan, is a negative 5. After 8 weeks, she has 8 times 5 is 40. 40 minus 30 is 10. So now she has 10. So is she owing mom money anymore? No. When you graph this, we need to at least put our labels. This is weeks and this is money. We can do it like that. Probably want to count. We can count by ones on the x. What do you want to count by on the y though? Probably 5. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. Right, so this is week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7. We could even put week 8 over here, right? So if we're going to count by 5, it's negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20, negative 25, negative 30. That's where we're starting, negative 30. Up here we would have positive 5, 10, 15, 20. So then we can go by our graph. 1, negative 25. 2, negative 20. 5, negative 5. 8 would be at $10. Are we going to connect these dots? No, she's probably only making 1 payment a week, so it's probably discrete. So you think you can work at your tables on this? Okay. You can change table mates if you need to. This is going to be due tomorrow, okay? Now, tomorrow we're going to go over this, and then I'm going to start you on a project. It's going to be a quiz grade. It's going to help us review for the test we're going to have next week. All right? So let's see what we can get done.